We start on the corporate front today as critical talks between Samsung Electronics and its labor union resumed about an hour ago after collapse earlier on this Wednesday amid much concern of the broader ripple effects of a planned walkout. For more on this, I have my colleague Ahn Sung-jin standing by on the line. Sung-jin, what's the latest at your end?
Right, Sunny. So let's go over the current ongoing situation. Samsung Electronics and its labor union have continued marathon negotiations this afternoon around 4 p.m. During what was thought to be a final round of talks that took place at 10 a.m. this morning, expectations for a dramatic breakthrough had remained high as both sides attempted to narrow differences over compensation and bonus demands.
The union had accepted the mediation proposal, but management withheld its decision and declined to sign the agreement, ultimately causing mediation talks to collapse.
Just as you mentioned, little over an hour ago, Labor Minister Kim Young-hoon stepped in to continue mediation talks, highlighting the government's growing concern over the potential economic impact of a full-scale strike. The ministry declined to confirm whether it is considering invoking emergency arbitration powers, which could suspend strike action in industries deemed critical to the national economy. But, Sunny, as we can see, officials continue to stress that dialogue remains the preferred solution. The chair of the National Labor Relations Commission dismissed speculation over emergency intervention earlier today, downplaying the likelihood of immediate government action. The Blue House expressed deep regret over the failure of the mediation process and urged both sides to continue negotiations, with President Lee Jae-myung also weighing in by stating that while collective labor action is legitimate, there must be an appropriate line.
Right then, Sung-jin, could you tell us a bit more about what has been said by the labor union and the management?
Right, the labor union had officially announced this on their website earlier, confirming that they will be proceeding with a general strike as planned to exercise their rights, though we will have to keep an eye on this.
There is deep regret that the mediation process ended without management making a final decision. We will enter a full strike starting from tomorrow.
Samsung Electronics had also expressed regret over the collapse in negotiations, saying it would continue efforts to avoid what it described as the worst-case scenario.
We apologize for failing to reach an agreement and will continue efforts to resolve the dispute.
In a statement, management argued that it had already accepted most of the union's demands regarding performance-based bonuses, but added that the persistent demand for compensation for profit-losing divisions would be unacceptable. It also warned that accepting such demands could undermine its core principle that compensation should follow performance. But Sunny, officials say that with negotiations continuing, they may reach an agreement before the strike tomorrow. That's all I have for now, but I will be back with updates for our later newscast.
All right, Sung-jin, thank you for the latest with regard to the labor management talks over bonuses at Samsung Electronics.